So, what can you say about Optimus Prime that hasn't been said already? You all know him, whether that be from the G1 cartoon, the comics, the Japanese exclusive series, the Unicron trilogy, or even those murderous fever dreams brought to you by the floppy-haired Antichrist. Fuck you, Michael Bay. Whatever continuity Optimus was in, he was always the ultimate space dad. He always put others' happiness and well-being before himself. All life was precious to him, and he would do anything to protect it. Optimus would even give his life over and over to protect those he loved. I don't know who holds the record for the most deaths between Optimus and Sean Bean. It'd be a close one though, I bet. Regardless, Optimus just wouldn't stay dead, as he was brought back every single time. Despite his many, many heroic actions, his comrades could never just let him enjoy the comforting oblivion of non-existence. I mean, who else is going to be the leader of the Autobots? Rodimus Prime? As long as there is Transformers, there will be Optimus Prime. Optimus has had so many different classic looks over the years, from his original boxy G1 truck for a chest body, the massive Bruce Campbell-esque chin of Transformers Animated, and the magnificently mechanical version seen in the Bumblebee movie, just to name a few. Today, we're going to have a look at just two toys, one based on his first depiction in the G1 cartoon, and a toy based on his most recent incarnation from the new Rise of the Beasts movie. Here we have Netflix War for Cybertron Optimus and Rise of the Beasts Optimus. Don't they look amazing? I think we'll rate these fellas over 3 categories to choose a winner. Let's go for general look and accuracy to the source material, articulation and fiddle factor, and finally best alt mode. Sound good? No? Well, it's my video, so I'll do it at 1 anyway, you cheeky wee monkey. Let's start with look and accuracy to the source material. Netflix Prime does seem very accurate at a glance, but there are some changes from his G1 design. The head sculpt is pretty bang on. He looks suitably noble and concerned from the welfare of his friends, despite not having a nose or a mouth. He even has the classic 4 rivets in the back of his head, an essential for any G1 style Optimus. His face should be silver around his eyes, but I think the light blue of his eyes really pops from the dark blue surrounding them, and it gives them some life. No real complaints. We have a very handsome boy in our hands here. Optimus's proportions are a little off. His arms and truck chest abdomen are quite short in comparison to these long supermodel-esque legs. Again, I'm not mad at it. It gives Optimus a more athletic look than his G1 self. It is the accuracy category though, so -1 Energon goodie. In terms of colours and decals, our boy is pretty spot on, rocking his usual red and blue with yellow highlights. I'm loving the shade of green used for his fabulous tip windows. It's a little more subdued than the sky blue seen in the cartoon, but under here is the true highlight of the robot mode, an absolutely fabulous matrix chamber. Look at how detailed this is. It's pretty fucking sweet, and something you'd expect to see in the Masterpiece line. Although seeing this does remind me of the time he died in the 86 movie, and I begin to weep uncontrollably. You are too good for this world, Optimus. You can even get Prime to hold the Matrix with these opening hands. Kind of. You can do a lighter darkest hour pose, but his stubby wee arms can't really hold it in front of his chest. His proportions really remind me of the Yeti from old WCW.
And the Yeti! What in the hell is going on?
With Netflix Prime, you get his iconic Ion Blaster, which is a far chubbier tip than the classic one. Suppose that just means he's shooting bigger loads these days. You also get these wee men, but they're utter pish. Like they actually share their colour scheme with actual pish. These wee PP men can just fuck off. I'm not making a water sports video here. I'm not Chuck Berry.
Believe it. I kiss you. The place smells like piss.
Rise of the Beast Prime also looks pretty accurate to the source material. His head sculpt is packed with moulded detail, although it does look a bit skinny, like Bert from Sesame Street or Egon from the real Ghostbusters. From side on, it looks smashing though. The back of his head doesn't have the 4 rivets, so he's not a real Optimus. Instant disqualification. Nah, I'm only kidding. I love all the detail moulded into the chest and abdomen. This is some truly next level stuff and gives the impression of rock hard abs on a level with Ravishing Rick Rude. He was absolutely robbed at the 89 Royal Rumble pose down. His light blue, clear tip windows also contrast well against the red of Prime's chest. I also love how the tip windows open slightly to reveal some more mechanical detail behind them. No matrix chamber, however. We don't know if Prime has a matrix in Rise of the Beasts, so no need to take away Energon Goody. Unless you are watching this from the future, and if you did have one, then you can. The only real problem I have with this Prime is the lack of paint. Most of the figure is moulded in this grey plastic, which makes Prime look like he's wearing a long sleeve top with his tummy on show. No pants, with only a black square to cover his shame, and knee-high blue socks. It kind of reminds me of a cheerleader outfit. It's deeply confusing for me that my childhood father figure is kind of making me aroused. If there was a separate grey used or a bit more red or blue on show, it would really improve this figure. I bet you some of you freaks are really into naked pantless Optimus. Probably the same folk who liked Lyle Convoy's look. You bunch of deviants. Oh, aye, I totally forgot to mention his gun here, it's a wee bit too long and skinny for me. Netflix Prime, he's got a wee short and thick. I think that's a lot better. Short and thick does the trick, doesn't it? It's difficult to say who wins the accuracy battle. Netflix Prime is a bit off from the source material, but he does look smashing. He's like an idealised version of our old G1 patriarch. Like comparing Rock from 1995 to modern Rock, he looks more imposing and ready for battle than his cartoon counterpart. The Rise of the Beast Prime is also a looker. The detail moulded in here is second to none. The lack of paint really does annoy me though. Stupid sexy Optimus. Round 1 goes to Netflix Prime. Articulation on both Optimi is impressive. The Netflix version has everything you'd expect and looks pretty awesome in any position. The only slight issue is that Netflix Prime's waist swivel is stopped by his truck bumper butt kibble. You can fudge it by folding it down and then he can do a full 360, no worries. I wouldn't say there's anything extra special about Netflix Prime's posability, but he can definitely do what you want him to do. Unless that's holding the Matrix straight out in front of him. Man, those are some short arms. Not quite T-Rex level, but just like my girlfriend tells me, you could really use some extra length. Yeah, dick jokes. Rise of the Beast Prime is amazing for articulation, mostly due to these big shovel feet and ultra posable ankles. Unlike my mental health, he's super stable and can get into some really fun poses. Like Netflix Prime, his waist rotation is hampered, but due to his swish transformation, Rise of the Beast Prime has a tit swivel. You can get some really natural posing if you combine them both. Very impressive stuff. Rise of the Beast Prime head isn't on a ball joint, so you only get side to side swivel and he can't look up or down. That's a bit unfortunate, but I suppose he can just move his whole body if he needs to look up or down. A bit inconvenient for him really. It's a close one again, but Rise of the Beast Prime wins the posability category. Both Primes have a similar transformation. I mean, they're both robot men that become a red and blue flat-nosed truck after all. Of the two, I think Netflix Prime has the most impressive one. His chest just explodes with panels that are all tucked away whilst in robot mode. Rise of the Beast Prime also has a great transformation, especially that tit swivel. It's simpler overall, but still lots of fun. Like going on a date with a contestant from Love in the Spectrum. Man, I love that show. Both trucks are very similar after transformation. Netflix Prime is a mix of the cartoon all-red cab and the G1 toy, with a silver stripe breaking up the red. There's definitely no way you could mistake this truck for anyone else, despite this mixed aesthetic. Although Prime's back legs do nothing much in terms of transformation, they just peg together and does a toe point, it's a clean look overall. It's good classic Optimus stuff and ticks all the nostalgia boxes. Rise of the Beast Prime is equally nice at the front of the cab. I love the wee sun shields over the clear blue windscreen and the bull bars in front of the cab. It's making me so excited to see this in live action. He's pure gonna ram it right up Scourge. It all falls apart in the back of the truck though. Those excellent robot stompers from the robot mode are clumsily folded up to make the truck bed. They look like the back of a pickup. And not even a good one at that. What could you store in here? A small sprinkling of cheese? It's meant to be the gun. I think I would have preferred the cheese. The lack of paint is also very obvious here. If these were cast in blue or painted blue, it would really help integrate this. As it stands, it just looks like Prime is transporting a large pair of mechanical shoes. It kinda looks better just leaving the feet facing up, as you can see the blue of the legs. You do you though. It's a toy for bloody kids, so knock yourself out. Netflix Prime wins the best alt mode, so I make that 2-1 to Netflix Prime. Well done, wee man. You've earned yourself a wee biscuit. So, what was the point of this video? I don't really know. It was just another waste of time, a small distraction, as the seconds tick away to your inevitable death. Something to temporarily stop you obsessing over the fact that everyone you've ever known will also die. Even the earth will eventually be consumed by the dying sun. After enough time, even the atoms that made you and everything in the universe will fly apart, leaving absolutely nothing. Futile really, isn't it? No matter what you do, no matter how much you plead or beg, death is coming for you folks. Maybe at the end of the universe, as the last sentient being closes its eyes for the final time, before the very last star dies and the universe goes dark forever, maybe, just maybe then, Optimus Prime will be allowed to bloody stay dead for a while. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Catch you later.